I can't believe I can see my abs. So, you know, when I say that, matter of fact, maybe they'd be out now. I had a lot. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I just wanted to do a quick video slash podcast. We're going to talk about getting ready for the next year. Now, I don't care when you're hearing this. It could be at the end of whatever current year we're in. Right now, it happens to be the end of 2021, or I don't really care if it's right in the middle of 2022, 2025, or 2028. At the end of the day, you can still start tomorrow, or even actually today, with saying, 1 year from now, I am going to be doing whatever it is that I intend to do. So one of the big things that I've been really looking at over the last, really I'll say the last month, and that has been productivity. Looking at stuff, the typical people like Brian Tracy, Caleb Jones is one that I kind of now consider him a mentor from afar. Of course, he doesn't know who I am, but I definitely know who he is. And he really got me started. I've always been interested in productivity, how to get more done. And certainly looking at kind of the order that he set for things and kind of following some of that and listening to some podcasts on productivity, I've really said, you know what, I'm going to focus on that over the next year. Now, as we get ready, as I look and review my last year, I have to feel good about the progress that I made. And that's certainly, saying it, wishing that I could have done more, because in some areas I fell short. But probably one of the biggest ones, and why you're seeing it on this particular channel, and I'll probably put this on my other YouTube channel, which, by the way, if I'm saying this, I might as well mention, like everyone else, please like, and if you dig the video, please like and subscribe below. Certainly I plan on growing this channel even more, where we talk about strength, health and fitness, just really men particularly living a much better lifestyle from a physique culture standpoint. And for this one, I'm going to stick mostly to the physical health part, but I think the lessons and the things that I'm talking about are applicable in really any other way. And so to kind of go back, what I was saying about productivity, I heard a saying, and I think it was on one of my little motivational things I listened to in the gym. Today happened to be back day. So I was listening to, I think it was one of those, was it Machiavellian motivation or whatever videos. Real good channel. I love their videos and whatnot, actually. So a lot of times I would listen to those in my headphones when I'm doing my sets. And so one of the things that came up, I think it was Jocko, they had a segment of him making a statement. It was something to the effect of, you got to get up every day and get after it. You have to go hit the gym every day, even when you don't feel like it, and go get it done. And yes, even on weekends. And I thought about it right now, I'm supposed to be on vacation from my 9 to 5 anyway. And so on weekends or on vacations, first I'll say yes, on weekends, I'm still getting up out of the bed at usually anywhere between 5:30 and 6. My typical time, depending on what I'm going to end up doing for the day, maybe even a little bit earlier. Regardless, I don't really go to bed late on Friday and Saturday nights. And if it is a little bit later, I'm still getting up anywhere about 5:30 or 6. Now, I love the work of Dr. Matthew Walker on sleep, which we need to stay in that rhythm with getting up at the same time and not getting caught up in this pattern of, I'm going to sleep in on the holidays or I'm sleeping in on the weekends. There's really no such thing. We shouldn't do that. It's not good for our bodies. But the main thing is I also do it in order, it keeps me in a habit. It keeps me in a routine. And I'm a morning person anyway. I do my best work early in the morning. And so why would I waste part of the day? And when I'm on vacation, and as I said, I'm on vacation now, I always have a saying that I've said for years, and I got it from my mother actually. You don't waste daylight. Why would I waste daylight? Now this time of year, the days are actually pretty short. That changes really soon. But it just never made sense for me to waste daylight. If you're a night person, fine, do your thing. But I will say, what I've typically found is I rarely come across people who are morning people. They tend to be the most productive. Yet many of the people that I know that are the least productive are night people. Now, of course, I'm not making that as a blanket statement. I'm just saying this in my own personal opinion. If I look at, Tim Ferriss and some other people that I may listen to, they are night people. They get things done at night. But I think it's also very tempting for people to say, I'm a night person. and they don't really get things done. Conversely, generally, if you're a morning person and you always get up in the morning, I think it's something about your personality, because getting up in the morning takes discipline. Doesn't take discipline to stay up all night. Usually, it's a lack of discipline, because some people should be going to bed, but it's a lack of discipline. That's why they end up staying up all night and they don't really get anything done. So you may be a person that says, well, I do my best work, or I fall asleep late and I just can't think, or I keep thinking and I can't go to sleep. And so I'm a night owl. Well, I'm going to just put it in your court. If you look at your life and you look at whatever situation you're in and you are an extremely productive person, but yet you stay up late at night, then I'm going to venture to say you probably need to go to bed a little bit earlier, and you need to be focused on being productive. So with that just kind of being laid down again, the discipline of getting up early, whether it's on the weekend, or the discipline of getting up early, even if you're on vacation, is something that translates into many other areas of your life. And guess what? The health and fitness aspect of it is one of those particular areas. To get up early and get your workout in, to have that done, instead of being one of those folks that constantly says, oh, I didn't have time to do it. I didn't have time to get my workout in. Once things got busy and life got hectic and the kids needed to be picked up and work emails started doing such as, everybody makes all kinds of excuses. But when you get your butt up out the bed and you either go outside and you get that walk in, or you go and take that drive to go to the gym with a little bit of food in you, maybe no food in you at all, that's how you can be a productive person and get things done. So for me, over this last year, I'm trying to pick up from the momentum that I built in this over this last year. I'm trying to take that into this next year. I started out this last year, approximately right before, if I go back a year from the time I'm recording this, I was nearly 40 pounds heavier. About, we'll just say between 30 and 40, depending on where I weigh in today. But I was definitely a full 220. I was touching and constantly flirting with 220 at the end of November. And that was when I started working with my coach, my macro coach, and I jumped all in. It was all about, first of all, if I'm spending my money, I'm going to be productive with it. I'm not one of these people that go to the gym and pay for a gym membership that I never use. Not going to happen with me. If I put my money out there, you better believe it's going to get done. And so once I spent my money and I started working with the coach, then it was just a matter of wash, rinse, and repeat. First, why am I going to pay someone that I'm not going to listen to? Then number two, I listened to the advice and I saw my man really knew what he was talking about. And I'm familiar enough with this game. I've been on diets. I've done all kind of diets and so on and so forth. I already know pretty much everything that's out there. But what I needed was someone to be accountable to. I knew that part of my personality. And so I felt if I could become disciplined enough to be accountable to someone, then you know what? Let's go ahead and I think I can maybe make something happen. So when I go and I look at where I was at from a body fat percentage wise, and I'm going to guess, if I had to take a guess, my body fat percentage was probably definitely 22, 23%, if not even 25. I would definitely say my body fat percentage was up there. But you know what? The good part is, I can honestly say now, a year here it is a year later, I remember writing on one of my kind of motivation boards of just, I wanted to see it every day of what I was working on. Never in my life, and I'm 51 years old, was I ever thought I'd be able to see my abs. Now I see my abs. I see my abs all the time. I can't believe I can see my abs. So, when I say that, matter of fact, maybe they'll be out now. I had a lot to eat. So I hope they're showing a little bit. Yeah, there they go. There they go. So I never thought, I got the old man Rico skin, but it is what it is. I don't care. Those are good battle scars. But the main thing is, I just want you to be disciplined enough. And I want to encourage you to be disciplined enough to do some things you never thought possible. Never thought seeing my abs would be possible. Now, not only did I achieve it, I'm actually doing ab exercises in the gym for a reason. I never did ab exercises in the 25 years of working out. What's the point? I mean, I did them, but nothing serious. You know, it was like I work abs similar to the hope of getting big calves one day. You know, throw in some sets. We'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, I've now achieved it. And I want to take that momentum into 2022, into this next year. I want to roll into that. I still plan on competing again. I won, and I'll do another video on that later. Those are my medals back there that I ended up winning a little over a month ago. Still can't believe that happened. But winning the 45 and over Masters division, coming in second in the true novice division, and that's against guys who were even much younger, and some like they're a little bit older, about the same age as I was. But it was just everyone's first time competing, and it was my very first time ever competing, and to get out there and come in second, just for me to leave the whole show with some hardware, when just getting my body fat percentage that low and going through a prep, that was victory enough for me. But now I'm kind of like, you know what? If I had the discipline to do that, what else can I do if I really, really put my mind to it? And that's what I want to ask you. What are you going to do this next year? Whether you're listening to this in December, January, June, September, doesn't matter. What are you going to do in the next year that you thought was straight up impossible? I want you to stretch yourself. For those that know me, I'm not one of these word faith preachers and name it and claim it, and you just make positive affirmations and all your dreams will come true. Because if I did that, I'd be claiming a whole lot more than this. But what I will say is that I've lived long enough, and I know for sure that people don't accomplish things feeling that they can't accomplish anything. This life is tough enough as it is, and you don't discipline yourself to do things that you don't think are really possible. And I think that's where talking to yourself, motivating yourself, and believing that it's possible, that's where the quote unquote magic lies. It lies in you now being motivated enough that even when you don't feel like it, even when it's the weekend, even when it's your day off, even when it's vacation time, you discipline yourself to get the job done. So to conclude, discipline yourself, be productive, plan on this next year. Let us all get out here. All of my prospectors out there. And what do prospectors do? They go out there and they search for gold. Getting up early in the morning and going to search for some gold, that takes some discipline. Going to the process of looking for the gold means you're actually being productive. The reward comes when you find it. For me last year, hey, my gold ended up being in my abs. Again, something I never thought was possible. There's now some greater mountains that I'm going to try to climb. What are those mountains for you? And whatever it is, I want you to get out there. I want you to start doing it. I want you to be productive. I want you to be determined to discipline yourself. I don't care whether you listen to this at 15, whether you listen to this at 25, 45, or even 75. As Neely Fuller says, I'm still learning. And every single day you open up your eyes and God wakes you up on this planet, you have an opportunity to start and make yourself into a brand new man. All right, like and subscribe to the podcast, and I'll definitely look forward and taking y'all along this journey with me. Come with me, dig for gold, find it in yourself, in your family, and in your friends. Later.